Jaskirat Singh Sidhu's sentence is the stiffest ever for dangerous driving causing death with no impairment. 8 years for each Bronco killed and 5 years for each injured, served concurrently. But does that feel like justice? Well, that's more complicated.
I know was high number of years precedent setting in the eyes of the justice system, but for killing my son, no.
The Heralds lost their young son, Adam.
When you take it into perspective, if you don't even take into consideration the injured people, it's 6 months per life. We have a lifetime sentence of, pain, suffering, and mental anguish.
The Boulet's son, Logan, died in hospital.
It's not going to change that my son's not here or that 15 other family members are not here.
On April 6th, a clear day, Sidhu drove past 4 signs indicating an intersection up ahead, never ever touching the brakes even at a large stop sign. Judge Cardinal said it is baffling and incomprehensible that a professional driver could miss so many markers over such a long distance. His inattention displays risky behavior. Sidhu was a brand new semi-driver at the wheel of a double trailer weighing 45,000 kilos, and he's never fully explained why he didn't brake.
I hope that Mr. Sidhu thinks about what has happened, and I hope it's a message to the trucking industry that it's not okay to wheel those big weights down the highways and for disregard for the laws of the road.
Sidhu's family, throughout this court hearing, has listened and wept, and today an uncle spoke for them.
I would like to express my sincere sympathy to the 29 families. We also feel indebted to the families and the Canadian public at large.
It's now nearly a year since the Broncos crash, and that date, April 6th, is already weighing heavily on Marilyn Cross, who lost a son.
How are you feeling about the anniversary coming up?
Oh, I'm kind of...
That's okay. It's okay. You know what? You don't have to answer any more questions, okay?
The Broncos are planning a permanent memorial here and a gathering in Humboldt. The parents are relieved that this painful legal process is over for now. Sidhu is in a correctional facility here in Saskatchewan tonight. After the appeal window closes about a month, he'll be transferred to a federal penitentiary. Andrew.
And Susan, in your piece, we heard this sentence sets a precedent. What did the judge say about that?
Yeah, she sent a very strong message. She said, quote, "The carnage on the roads has to stop, and it shouldn't have taken an event like this to show people that driving a motor vehicle requires their full attention."
Okay, Susan Ormiston, thanks very much. Now, important to note, Sidhu's 8-year prison sentence doesn't necessarily mean he'll spend 8 years in prison. In Canada, most offenders who receive less than a life sentence are eligible for full-day parole after serving a third of their time. That decision is up to the Parole Board of Canada. And further, except in very specific cases, even when day parole is declined, inmates typically get statutory release after serving 2/3 of their sentence. So it's possible that of his 8-year sentence, Sidhu might actually spend approximately, give or take a few months, 3 to 5 years behind bars.